For decades, the name Chuck Norris has represented strength, discipline, and a larger-than-life presence in action cinema. From martial arts tournaments to Hollywood films and the beloved television series Walker, Texas Ranger, he became a symbol of toughness admired by millions. In later years, internet culture transformed him into something even bigger through the famous Chuck Norris facts, playful jokes that portrayed him as an unstoppable force of nature. Yet, behind the humor and heroic image is a very human story. The real man's life was shaped not only by achievements, but also by challenges, growth, and quiet reflection. Like many public figures whose reputations appear larger than life, his journey includes moments of doubt, perseverance, and change. Understanding that journey reveals something deeper than the legend, an individual who built his path step by step through dedication and resilience. Early life in a small American town, Chuck Norris was born Carlos Ray Norris on March 10, 1940, in the small town of Ryan, Oklahoma. Life there was simple and often challenging, especially for families trying to make ends meet in the years after World War II. His father worked as a mechanic, while his mother focused on keeping the family stable and hopeful despite difficult circumstances. Growing up with two younger brothers, Chuck learned early that responsibility and persistence were essential parts of everyday life. The family moved frequently as his parents searched for better opportunities, eventually settling in California. For a quiet boy who often felt shy in school, those moves made it harder to build friendships or feel fully settled. Yet those early experiences also helped shape his determination. The lessons of resilience, humility, and patience he learned during childhood would later influence the disciplined mindset that defined his martial arts career. Searching for confidence as a young man. During his teenage years, Chuck Norris was not the confident athlete people later imagined. He was reserved and unsure of himself, often feeling like he had yet to discover where he truly belonged. School life passed quietly for him, and he rarely imagined that he would one day become a global icon of strength. After finishing high school, he looked for direction in the same way many young adults do, by exploring new experiences and responsibilities. The turning point came when he joined the United States Air Force in the late 1950s. For Chuck, military service represented both opportunity and transformation. It took him far from the familiar surroundings of home and introduced him to people, cultures, and challenges he had never encountered before. Though he could not have known it at the time, this decision would lead him directly toward the path that would shape the rest of his life. Discovering martial arts in Korea while stationed at Osan Air Base in South Korea, Chuck Norris encountered something that would change his life forever: martial arts. Watching local practitioners train with discipline and precision sparked a deep curiosity in him. He began studying the Korean martial art Tangsudo initially as a way to stay active and learn self-defense, but the practice quickly became much more than a hobby. Martial arts introduced him to a philosophy centered on patience, self-control, and continuous improvement. The structured training environment gave him confidence he had never felt before. Each lesson and practice session taught him not just physical techniques, but also mental discipline. Over time, he earned his first black belt and developed a passion for teaching and mastering the craft. The shy young man who once struggled with self-confidence was gradually transforming into someone who understood the power of focus and perseverance. A friendship that opened new doors. One of the most important turning points in Chuck Norris's life came through his friendship with martial arts pioneer Bruce Lee. The two met during the late 1960s when Lee was already gaining attention in television and film. Their shared passion for martial arts quickly turned into mutual respect. Lee admired Chuck's discipline and fighting ability, while Chuck was inspired by Lee's philosophy and creativity. Their connection eventually led to a memorable moment in cinema history. In 1972, Norris appeared in Lee's film Way of the Dragon, playing the rival fighter in a legendary duel filmed inside Rome's Colosseum. The scene became one of the most famous martial arts sequences ever captured on screen. Although Norris played the antagonist, the performance introduced him to international audiences and demonstrated that his presence could translate powerfully to the world of film. Hollywood and the rise of an action star. After his appearance in Way of the Dragon, Chuck Norris began receiving offers from filmmakers who recognized his unique blend of athleticism and authenticity. During the late 1970s and 1980s, he appeared in a series of action films that built his reputation as a leading star. Movies such as A Good Guys Wear Black, The Octagon, and the Missing in Action trilogy showcased his martial arts expertise and calm screen presence. Unlike some action heroes who relied heavily on dialogue, Norris often conveyed strength through quiet determination and physical skill. Audiences connected with that straightforward style. He represented a kind of hero who solved problems through courage and discipline rather than dramatic speeches. By the mid-1980s, he had established himself as one of Hollywood's recognizable action figures, proving that a martial artist could successfully transition from tournament champion to movie star. The television role that made him a household name. Although Chuck Norris had already built a strong film career, his most enduring role arrived in 1993 with the television series Walker, Texas Ranger. In the show, he portrayed Cordell Walker, a Texas Ranger known for combining martial arts skill with a strong sense of justice. The program quickly gained a loyal audience and ran for 8 seasons, becoming a staple of television in the United States and many other countries. What made the show special was its balance of action and moral storytelling. Each episode emphasized themes of fairness, responsibility, and standing up for what is right. For viewers, Walker represented a dependable hero who remained calm under pressure. The role reinforced Norris's public image as a disciplined and principled figure while introducing him to an even wider generation of fans. The internet phenomenon of Chuck Norris facts. In the early 2000s, long after many of his films had been released, Chuck Norris experienced an unexpected resurgence in popularity thanks to internet culture. Online jokes known as Chuck Norris facts began circulating widely, presenting humorous and exaggerated statements about his supposed superhuman abilities. While clearly fictional, the jokes captured people's imagination and turned him into a pop culture phenomenon for a new generation. Instead of resisting the trend, Norris approached it with good humor and appreciation. He often joked that he was honored people thought of him as so powerful, even if the stories were clearly playful exaggerations. The phenomenon demonstrated how a public figure's image can evolve over time, shifting from traditional celebrity to something almost mythological. For Norris, it became a reminder that audiences connected with his persona in ways that extended far beyond film and television. Reflections on family and personal life. Away from cameras and movie sets, Chuck Norris has often spoken about the importance of family and personal reflection. Over the years, he experienced both joyful milestones and challenging moments that encouraged him to think more deeply about priorities. Like many individuals who dedicate years to demanding careers, he eventually realized that success is most meaningful when shared with loved ones. In interviews, Norris has emphasized that the lessons he learned through martial arts, discipline, respect, and balance, apply just as strongly to relationships as they do to training. Spending time with his wife and children became increasingly important as his career matured. These experiences helped to shape a more thoughtful perspective on life, reminding him that achievements and recognition are valuable, but they are only part of a much larger journey that includes connection, growth, and gratitude. Life today and a legacy of discipline today, Chuck Norris remains a respected figure whose influence extends beyond entertainment. Through programs like Kickstart Kids, he has helped introduce martial arts training and character education to thousands of young people across the United States. The initiative focuses on building confidence, responsibility, and self-discipline, values that played a major role in his own life. Though he now enjoys a quieter lifestyle compared to his busiest Hollywood years, his impact continues through these educational efforts and the lasting popularity of his films and television work. Looking back at his journey, from a shy boy in Oklahoma to a martial arts champion and global cultural icon, it becomes clear that his legacy is not simply about strength or fame. It is about perseverance, humility, and the belief that personal growth is always possible.